Welcome back everybody to some Road to Regionals, where I attempt to climb the online rankings and try to become a better competitive battler as I go along, attempting to build a team and build around my Mega Charizard, currently with a Trick Room team. So a few changes that I want to do to it that I have in mind for next week, and I really do apologize. I'm losing my voice. I think I'm getting sick. Anyway, we're going to hop right on the ladder. Not much of an introduction today. It's not like I can really talk anyway. We're actually sitting at 15-10 at a record of 12-11. I went like, I believe like 7-4, 8-4 or something like that yesterday playing off camera. And I got terrible RNG rolls yesterday. And hopefully today we won't have that problem. By the way, everyone, happy Halloween. I don't have my costume on. I am wearing my Mega Man shirt, though. I don't really get dressed up for Halloween, obviously. It's just me in my house right now. Obviously, the family's giving away candy right now to rest of the kids, but just playing some Pokemon. So 1608 player from Missouri, Moon. Okay, so let's see what Moon has to offer. He's going to have that Blaziken. Okay, so that Blaziken was giving us a tough time yesterday. Blaziken is actually pretty prevalent in VGC. I used it I actually was going to bring Blaziken to Massachusetts Regionals, but looks like we have a lot of possible Megas being all starters, actually. So the Swampert, Blaziken, and the Venusaur are probably going to be Mega Venusaur. Excuse me, the Bisharp and the Blaziken always give us so many problems. Aegislash, not too big of a deal right here. There's a bunch of easy ways that I can deal with Aegislash with primarily most of my own Pokemon, so probably not going to be too much of a factor right here, but do I even want to bring my Sylveon? Sylveon is actually pretty good against the Goodra. But I don't know, there's ways I could fight around the Goodra. I mean, the Goodra is actually really specially bulky. Not very physically bulky, but I have a lot of special attackers on my team, and my physical attackers, being my Scrafty and my Landers, really have no way to hit that, so I may actually want to bring my Sylveon. But probably seeing that Venusaur, so I definitely want to bring my Charizard, obviously, but he could potentially take advantage of that with his Chlorophyll on his Venusaur. Potentially not even having to Mega Evolve if he wants to be on the offensive. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to see who he potentially would like to lead here. Probably Blaziken. Blaziken's a Pokemon typically you do not want to switch in, so he's probably going to lead with the Blaziken. I could lead... Oh, who could I lead? I could lead with my Landorus. The only thing he could possibly do is HP Ice, so I like Landorus as a lead right there. Don't want to lead with my Sylveon. I think Cresselia is actually a pretty good lead to get the Trick Room up early. Bring my Charizard in the back. Oh man, the Scrafty is looking so good against the Bisharp, but the Defiant is really annoying. The Defiant is really annoying. But if I do, if I do get the Trick Room up, early on, especially when it comes to combating that Blaziken and the Bisharp, I can definitely take care of them fairly easily, especially... Well, actually, if this isn't Mega Blaziken, it most likely is Life Orb. Typically, they are Life Orb mix set. And the Blaziken, I apologize, the Bisharp is most likely Focus Sash, so we're going to have to fight around that as well. And we have the Aegislash and Blaziken as the lead. Blaziken, I predicted, well... Aegislash not too well. He probably predicted me to lead with the Sylveon. I have no need to lead with the Sylveon, but the Crest is up front here. The Aegislash probably going to be doing a lot of damage to the Crest. Fortunately, I don't have a Calm Mindset Moonlight, nor do I have Protect on the Crest, so it's interesting to see. The Aegislash definitely is the slowest Pokemon on the field, so setting up the Trick Room right now isn't too good. That's a really good lead for my opponent. Taking advantage of the slow speed of Aegislash, potentially anticipating me to set up the Trick Room. So, Landers is a really good threat right here. He could just shoot off a really super powerful Earthquake, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to be able to take the HP Ice if the Blaziken wants to throw it my way, but it's most likely going to protect or switch out right here. I don't really want to... Actually, I'm going to go for a Helping Hand. Let's see what he wants to do with his Aegislash. I was going to go for a skill swap right there, but I was going to go before the Aegislash. There's no point because I would give the Aegislash Levitate, and there would be no point to Earthquake beyond that point. So, obviously, Cresselia having Levitate, so this is not going to be received fairly well by this Aegislash. Hopefully, this will actually be enough to KO it. Oh, Oh man, that's weakness policy. Oh my god, this Shadow Bolt is gonna hurt like hell. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. Oh my god, this is gonna bring me down probably like to 30%. Oh my god, that's a KO. Holy shit. Oh, just missing on the KO. That's really bad losing Cresselia early on. My Cresselia is actually built a bit more physically defensive instead of especially defensive. I have mixing my defenses up with when it comes to EV spreads. But that's such... that really hurts. That really, really hurts. Okay, so who could he have in the back? He's probably got the Venusaur in the back. Okay, so we got the Egg Slash up front. Could have the Venusaur in the back. Possibly, he probably didn't even bring the Goodyear. Probably didn't even bring the Swampert. Probably has the obviously the Venusaur in the back. Do I want to bring? I want to bring out Sylveon right here. Really, no point to bring out the Charizard. Or is there? I could get a Sun Boosted Heat Wave off. Yeah, I mean, there's no point in wasting time right now. Let's bring in the Charizard. Mega Slash is definitely either going to switch out or King Shield. That is just so obvious. I mean, Mega Slash really isn't doing anything right now, but it has played its role really, really well in this battle, taking out Cresselia, which is a really huge threat because I had the Trick Room in the Cresselia, and he's got a fairly fast team. He has a fairly fast team. Most of his Pokemon are going to be faster than my Pokemon because I built around a Trick Room team. So, alright, we got to figure out what we want to do here. The Egg Slash going to King Shield or switch out. He could be bluffing that and then going for the attack, but it's not going to do much to either one of my Pokemon. He could double down on the Landorus, but I'm still going to get an Earthquake off if he doesn't King Shield with his Egg Slash. He can't switch anything in. Nothing has Levitate or is Flying type on his team. I could just Mega Evolve here and then go for the safe Heat Wave. There's no reason for me not to do that play. Actually, I'm going to go for the single target Flamethrower on the Blaziken. If the Blaziken decides to attack here, it's going to get knocked out. Flamethrower and Earthquake are a deadly combination. Okay, so this Blaziken is intimidated, but it's most likely going to throw an HP Ice at Landorus. Landorus has the Assault Vest. Should be doing about around 50%. Doing a little bit more than that. Didn't really calculate in the Life Orb right there, but I'm still going to get 2 attacks off before both of these Pokemon. Earthquake's definitely going to finish this Blaziken off, as well as this Aegislash. We're going to be up 3-2, but it's definitely not over. Definitely not over, because he probably has the Venusaur in the back. Obviously, Venusaur is going to have Chlorophyll, so it will actually attack extremely fast this next turn, being faster than both of my Pokemon. So that's something I definitely have to watch out for. That's definitely why he brought the Venusaur in the back and not in the front. And we do see the Bisharp, so it was anticipating the Bisharp. So he broke both of his Steel types to combat my Sylveon, which I have not shown yet. But the Bisharp definitely being the biggest threat right now. Venusaur actually is an incredibly huge threat right here, but it's good that I have my Landorus in here. Because I didn't get the Intimidate off in the Bisharp, but unfortunately my Landorus is in Sucker Punch KO range. And also the Venusaur could just go for either a Giga Drain. I don't think a Sludge Bomb would knock out from this range. It's interesting to see what the Venusaur has. Probably Protect, Leech Seed, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain. Now I really have to attack here. Could go for the double target down on the Charizard. He actually could do that. Could do that. But I'm not going to play conservative like I have been right here. And I'm just going to go for the Heat Wave right here. In case he ever did protect with his Venusaur, which in his position he should not. He should actually double down onto the Charizard, being the biggest threat out of both of these Pokemon. So he actually is going to protect with his Venusaur. Not taking advantage of the Chlorophyll. Even though he Mega Evolved, still going to be able... I was anticipating that, but that's okay. I'm still going to get a Heat Wave off. Still going to get the Heat Wave off. So, if it connects, okay, it does connect. I'm banking on him having a Focus Sash. Yep, Focus Sash does come out from the Bisharp. So I was anticipating the Sucker Punch coming down from the Landorus, but I really didn't want to throw the Landorus back in there. I didn't want to take him out, take any unnecessary damage onto my Sylveon, because there could have been a Sludge Bomb onto that slot, anticipating that switch in. There was nothing really I could have done right there. I didn't really want to put my Landorus in there to give this a +1 Bisharp any priority with its Sucker Punch. So obviously I'm going to have to throw Sylveon back in there. Should have accounted for both of the Steel types being brought here to counter my Sylveon, being such a huge threat that it is. Now Bisharp's most likely going to throw a... it's probably going to throw a... Iron Head at Sylveon, because Sludge Bomb won't knock out Sylveon. So he's probably going to throw an Iron Head at Sylveon, as well as Sludge Bomb the Sylveon. If he doesn't do that, I don't know. Sylveon is not the biggest threat right here. It is really not the biggest threat. So I really don't want to protect Sylveon right now, because I could see a double down onto the Charizard. I could see... what could I see here? Sucker Punch on the Charizard won't do anything. Won't even KO with the Venusaur. So, interesting to see what would happen here. The Iron Head, I really... Let's go for the Heat Wave Hyper Voice right here. Bisharp's actually going to protect, so that's really good that I didn't protect with my Sylveon. I'm probably going to see a Sludge Bomb onto the Sylveon right here. So I should have went for the Sigil Target Flamethrower onto the Venusaur. That would have been a better option. I do get the burn, so... that's fortunate for me. We're going to see the Sludge Bomb onto the Charizard, so probably... Don't poison me. There we go. Alright, great. So probably anticipating the Sylveon Protect right there. So, wow, that is doing a lot of damage. I was going to say, if that's not a critical hit, I don't know what is. Okay, so, right now, if the Bisharp does not Sucker Punch my Charizard, there's no way that he can beat my Charizard. Simply because I'm obviously going to outspeed both of him. Earlier in the week, we were facing a Bisharp. We actually lost to a Bisharp because I wasn't aware that I actually EV'd my Charizard to outspeed a max attack, max speed adamant Bisharp. Actually by 1 point. I thought I was slower, but I actually did run my calculations right, so I can confirm that now. So I will attack before this Bisharp. Don't really want to risk missing a Heat Wave, so I'm probably going to go for a Flamethrower on that slot, and then a safe... I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball. I'm just going to go for the straight-up Shadow Ball and Flamethrower, so hopefully this will seal us up. The game match was forfeited. He actually seen that there was no way to win it. Now, you know, if I was in his position, I absolutely wouldn't have forfeited. Obviously, if I went for the Heat Wave, there was a potential that I could have missed. He could have went for the Iron Head onto the Sylveon, then Sludge Bomb the Sylveon, and then, you know... Yeah, I mean, if I missed that Heat Wave, that would have been a huge deal. Then he would still have at least his Bisharp or his, Venusaur left, and he could have potentially maybe got a crit with the Sucker Punch, but I mean, I would have just stayed in there, you know, see how chance wanted to play itself out, but fortunately enough for ourselves, we are going to pick a win up in the first game, playing our cards right, actually bringing Sylveon against two very threatening Steel-type Pokemon that could take it out fairly easily, but we did get rid of the Aegislash early, which was a huge threat to my team. It's such a shame that Landorus couldn't take care of the Aegislash in one go, but it was, excuse me, in shield form, so obviously being in blade form, it would have just completely annihilated the Aegislash, but Aegislash is built to be like that, so the weakness policy can go off, but I did run Aegislash with weakness policy. It was going down way too easy. Aegislash is actually really difficult to run, and I do give props to anyone that can run it successfully, because you have to play like the guessing game. What your opponent's going to do is you're going to target down your Aegislash. Should you stay in blade form? Should you go for the King Shield? It's really, really hard. It really is, and like I said, I do give props to anyone that actually does use Aegislash successfully. Same thing that goes for Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan, you may be saying, you know, to yourself, he's pretty easy to use. He's very powerful, gets off a lot of powerful attacks, usually can win games for you, you know, outright. But he is actually pretty difficult to run, and Japanese players typically tend to run him pretty damn well. And if you actually look on Nuggetbridge.com and you see the Worlds report, you see that I would have to say at least 90% of the Japanese players in the top 8 brought Kangaskhan. And there was only one player that wasn't a Japanese player in the top 8 of Worlds, and we're going to get a Japanese player right here, 1625 rating, and a very interesting team for being as high as a rank as he is. This is really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what he can offer right here. So we have 2 potential megas right here, being the Manectric and the Garchomp. He also has a Zoom he is Aegislash as well. He has the I can't think right now. The I was about to say Ferrothorn, the Amoonguss, and the Firebird. I'm sorry, cannot think right now. Dealing with actually trying to talk right now. So, who could he potentially lead with? Now, Manectric is a very, very, very hard Pokemon to deal with. I can easily take him out with a Landorus, but he is going to get off a very strong Hidden Power Ice. Won't KO my Landorus, so there is a potential of having Landorus in the back to switch in on the Manectric when he is trying to potentially maybe send a Thunderbolt out onto my Charizard. Now, who is really good in this match? Who is really good in this match? Again, Scrafty really not too good in this match. He's not doing anything to the Amoonguss, to the Azumarill. So probably not going to bring him. Probably going to just take him off the team, you know, overall next week. Let me just think here for a second. How's Sylveon looking here? Not too good. Landorus, I definitely want to bring Landorus. Definitely going to bring the Heat Train. Azumarill's always hard to deal with. So Azumarill's incredibly hard to deal with. Cresselia is looking pretty good here, other than the Aegislash. So I'm probably going to bring Cresselia. Gotta watch out for the Amoonguss, especially if I set up the Trick Room. I'm looking like I want to bring in Cresselia. Cresselia Charizard? Cresselia Heat Train? Let's bring Cresselia Heat Train, Charizard in the back, and Landorus in the back as well. I want to bring Charizard in the front. I mean, just to get, I guess, to get off, you know, Heat Waves off early on. I could set up the Sun, go for a Solar Beam onto the Azumarill. I could potentially set up the Trick Room if he doesn't decide to leave with the Azumarill. And he's going to lead with the Azumarill. Azumarill and Manectric. I kind of felt like he was going to lead. Oh, actually, I didn't lead with Charizard. I left with Heat Train. So we're in quite a predicament right here. I led against an Azumarill in a couple of episodes ago, and it completely destroyed my Cresselia. And I found out later in that week that after I watched the video, it actually was Choice Bandit Azumarill. But Azumarill is really, really hard to predict, especially early on in the battles. You don't want it to set up Belly Drum. You really don't want it to do that. And unfortunately, I can't set up the Trick Room right here, so I'm going to actually skill swap the Azumarill. And what does this Manectric actually want to do? It's interesting to see. Obviously, Heatran is not doing anything right here. You probably will anticipate either the Protect or the Switch out right here. So, can't even switch in none of my Pokemon in the back. I am incredibly weak to Water types, which really, really sucks. But I can actually go for an Earth Power on a Manectric. Manectric could be protecting right here. This is kind of risky. I'm not going to protect with my Heatran because I'm hoping he anticipates a Protect coming from my Heatran. So he could Mega Evolve the Manectric, double down into the Cresselia. But if he went for the Waterfall with the Azumarill into the Heatran slot or the Belly Drum, I am absolutely screwed. But at least I'll be getting rid of this Pure Power. So we're going to see a Volt Switch into the Cresselia slot. So probably double down into the Cresselia slot. Won't be able to knock it out. I should be able to get rid of its huge power before it attacks me. Usually, you know, Azumarills really aren't fast. There's no point in investing any speed EVs in Azumarills, so I should be able to get rid of its ability before it will attack my Cresselia if it decides to attack the Cresselia. So, good Volt Switch, because obviously I was going to go for... Oh, wow, that is a lot of damage onto that Garchomp. But we can confirm the Garchomp is not the Mega, so probably going to be... Hey, there's a Belly Drum. Okay, so at least we got... Okay, Jesus. Okay, this is bad. This is pretty bad. I should have went for the attack right into the Azumarill. I was kind of banking on it having... I really was counting on it having the choice band. Oh man, that's really crappy. This is really, really bad now. Okay, so obviously I can go for the Ice Beam and the Garchomp, but the Azumarill is the biggest threat. It can one-hit KO every single one of my Pokemon on my team now. Wow, this is bad. Okay. And I can't set up the Trip Room because of this Azumarill, so we could see the Protect come from the Garchomp, and then obviously the attack from the Azumarill. So let's just go right here to see what the Azumarill potentially would want to do. I can't do anything with the Cresselia right here. I really can't do anything with the Cresselia. He should predict me to protect or switch out with my Heatran. If he predicts the switch out, he's going to attack the Heatran slot. If he predicts the protect, obviously he's going to hit the Cresselia. But I'm going to attack before, so I should be getting an Ice Beam off, but this Garchomp should protect right now. If this Garchomp doesn't protect, I don't know what's going on. So he is going to go for the Rock Slide. He's not going to protect. He's going to fish for a flinch here, because it's not going to be doing anything, and obviously Heatran's... Wow! 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 Okay, so, wow, we hang on with 2 HP. Okay. We're going to see a Waterfall into the Heatran slot. We're definitely going to see that. Okay, so I can't switch in. Obviously, he's going for the Rock Slide, so it's kind of crappy. And if I switch into my Landorus, Landorus is going down in the Cresselia slot, so it looks like the Cresselia is just going to be sacked right here. What I have to hope for here is that the Rock Slide does miss. Rock Slide does miss. Thing is, do I go for a Heat Wave? Heat Wave is not effective against both of his Pokemon. It's not gonna KO either one of his Pokemon. So the smartest play right here, obviously, is to go for the Helping Hand. Hope that the Heatran does not flinch and go for an Earth Power onto the Azumarill slot. Hopefully, this will be able to knock it out. Alright, so let's see how this turn wants to play itself out. Azumarill obviously being the biggest threat on the field. Didn't anticipate the Aqua Jet coming out. Well, I mean, if you let Azumarill set up on you, it's pretty much game. Unless you have ways to deal with it, and obviously my team doesn't have ways to deal with Azumarill. You know, unfortunately, I have no resistance to water on my entire team, and, is it 3? 3 out of, 6 of my Pokemon are incredibly weak to water, and especially when you bring the rain. And we've seen that. I would have to say 90% of my losses are due to either rain or Azumarill. I lost the other match when I played against Azumarill. I could have won that match, but obviously not playing at my best. I got to anticipate the Azumarill leading every single time I see it, and I have to bring something on my team to potentially counter it. Moongus, like I said in the previous episode, he would be a great fit on this team, countering that, to counter the damn Azumarill. I have to bring something like that on my team, and he'd be a perfect fit for a, there's really nothing I could do right here. Nothing I could do, even if I protected my Charizard. The Intimidate came down. Alright, so I didn't even take a picture of his team, so I don't even know who we'd want to switch in. He's not going to switch in. He's not going to switch out the Azumarill. He's not going to do that. Or does he? Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for the Solar Beam. I don't think he's going to switch out his Azumarill. He's probably going to go for another Aqua Jet. Hopefully, he's probably going to go for Aqua Jet, Rock Slide. He's going to go for Aqua Jet, Rock Slide onto the Charizard. Nothing I can do. I can't protect right now. I have to go on the offensive. What do we see right here? Ooh, we see a Protect from the Azumarill. Okay, so anticipating probably the Solar Beam coming out, because obviously Charizard can't do anything for the Garchomp. Doing 50% onto the Charizard. Charizard's going to go right into the Protect, so obviously not going to be doing anything right there. As you see, my Charizard takes that Rock Slide really well. So how much did that actually do, if I could see my own health right here? So, yeah, another one will KO my Charizard, unfortunately. Doing 60% to my Charizard right there. Probably getting a high damage roll, because I have an incredibly defensive and bulky Charizard. If you obviously, excuse me, see from his HP, I EV'd it so it would at least survive one stab Rock Slide from a Tyranitar. Okay, alright. Gotta bank on another miss. We have to bank on... Let's go for a Heat Wave. A Rock Slide miss on the Charizard and a Heat Wave double burn would be absolutely incredible right now, but the RNG rolls aren't going in our direction, obviously, in this battle, getting a double crit on one Rock Slide. Not a double crit, but a, I'm just gonna go for a Rock Slide. I'm the Earthquake. I was going for the Aqua Jet on the Charizard. Oh, onto the Landers. Okay, so I'm gonna survive that. My Landers, you know, basically my entire team, he's not gonna miss it on the Charizard, so... Hitting every single Rock Slide right there, I can't do anything about that. I really can't. I can't be too upset about this battle. Obviously, Azumarill is a really versatile Pokemon. You can have a bunch of different sets on it. Oh yeah, and I forgot. I gotta pay more attention. When you have Skill Swap on your Cresselia, obviously you have to start paying attention to what you're skill swapping, because Cresselia has Levitate, and I'm, you know, Earthquaking, Levitating Pokemon. So that's it's a good game to my opponent. I can't really do anything about that. I can't be upset about it because obviously I was banking on the Azumarill having Choice Band. If he had a Choice Band, I'd be looking a lot better in this game. Getting 2 flinches from that Rock Slide obviously didn't help. Probably didn't decide the game. He probably still would have won it, but it's something we have to build our team around. This is why you test teams. I obviously have a huge weakness to water types, Rain, and Azumarill, so I do have to fight around that. So good game to my opponent. Very good game to my opponent. I have no problem giving him the win for that one. Fairly fast video. Well, not fast video. We're at 27 minutes right here, so I actually do try to take my time, explain my thought process throughout the entire video. This is actually probably one of the better videos I did, despite the fact that I'm getting sick. But that was a good match for my opponent right there, so probably going to bring the Amoonguss next week. What I'm thinking is I'm probably going to bring the Amoonguss. We did see Amoonguss have Sunny Day at Worlds. Wolfie Glick had it on his teams, and Shoma actually had it on his teams, and he won World with the Sunny Day Amoonguss. Don't know whether or not I put Sunny Day Amoonguss on my team, obviously, because the Charizard has a sun. But, you know, interesting to see. Maybe, like, Sunny Day Synthesis. I don't know. I kind of want to run something people aren't typically used to, so they're not expecting certain things. That would be a really annoying Amoonguss to deal with, and obviously Amoonguss just completely walls the hell out of Azumarill, so it's kind of funny. If I had Amoonguss on my team, the Azumarill wouldn't have been doing anything. It probably wouldn't even have forced it to come at that point. So even having Amoonguss on your team threatens those types of Pokemon to even come to the battle. Obviously, you can guarantee a Water-type Pokemon, Rain-type Pokemon, such as Politoed, or the Azumarill would come to this battle, obviously, because of how my team is composed. Obviously, I have so many weaknesses to Water. Why wouldn't he bring it? It makes so much sense. So building around that would definitely be beneficial, and you're going to see that next week. Probably going to get rid of the Scrafty, obviously, put the Amoonguss in there, try the Amoonguss out, and switch out some movesets and possibly some EVs. Probably going to put a Yachi Berry as well as Protect onto my Landers. Yachi Berry, Landers usually only take super effective damage, obviously, against Hidden Power Ices, or the occasional Water-type Pokemon that throws an Ice Beam my way, but it's non-stab, so I can definitely take that. Probably, like, I was running some damage rolls on the calculator, Nuggetbridge.com. Putting in a Yachi Berry on the Landers actually prevents more damage onto my Landers, even more so than a Assault Vest. And even keeping my Landers more bulky, probably bumping up his speed a little bit more, getting a couple of games decided because my Landers was really slow. Obviously not being able to set up the Trick Room in those matches, so I couldn't take advantage of it. So definitely going to see some changes. Definitely want to put the Yachi Berry Protect on my Landers next week, as well as throwing Amoonguss in there. So look forward to some more Pokemon VGC next week. Thanks for joining me this entire week. This was a pretty successful week. Got rid of the copyright strike. We started Pokemon VGC, started up in the seasons. Possibly going to a premiere event in Brooklyn, New York next week. Probably seeing the likes of Craig Master as well, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can subscribe to his channel. Great VGC content. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the channel. No, I'm definitely not going to end the channel. I'm going to end the video right now, so you all can go enjoy your Halloween. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for taking the time for watching my video today on such a occasion. I'll catch you guys a little bit because I'm going to be playing Splatoon now. Peace!